Hi, hi. Welcome back to my channel and to another video. In today's video, honestly, I'm going to be doing something very different. I don't think I've ever made a video like this before, but I was like, why the hell not? I was like, why not? I mean, I don't know how this video is going to do, but honestly, it's just so random. But I'm going to be talking about Carrie Bradshaw being an awful columnist because I don't know, like Sex and the City is one of my favorite TV shows ever. Like that is one TV show that I know I can rewatch over and over and over and over again. And I was watching it a while ago and I was like, well, I'm watching it right now. And I was like, like Carrie Bradshaw is really not that great of a columnist in my opinion. So it's like, anyway, so I was rewatching the show and I just like had this thought that Carrie Bradshaw is not. Side note, I think we need to find a word for. I'm just going to say columnist. So she is not like, I don't think she was the best columnist in that regard. And I have my reasons, which I'm going to discuss as I am rewatching it in honor of my rewatching of Sex and the City. Just some instances that I've noticed, which I don't know how I didn't notice before, but honestly, let's get into it. So the first thing I have, like the first instance I have was, when Samantha was like, oh, she's seeing this guy that is like way older than her. I think it was an episode where the guy had lunch with like Donald Trump and then he came over to Samantha at a bar and he was trying to get to know her and everything. And he's like way older than her. I think at this point Samantha is like in her 40s, right? Because Samantha is like the older one in the group. So she's in her 40s. So this guy is like 20 years plus older than her. And Samantha is having a conversation with Carrie, like, oh, like how old is too old for you? And Carrie is like, I can't remember the exact details, but Carrie doesn't receive the information too well. And I'm like, isn't this like content for you? Like, aren't you supposed to be open to like that topic in all its spectrums and everything? Like I feel like for somebody that was a columnist, she had such a myopic view on the act. As my sister said, me and my sister were having a conversation about this, and this is what she said, like for a columnist in that topic you have such a myopic view on that aspect of life. And Samantha is well in her 40s. If she decides that, oh, she wants to deal with a guy much older, like why? And I sometimes feel like Samantha should have been the columnist because she was very open towards that topic. In that topic, she was very open. She was willing to try new things. She was very curious. And to me, I feel like those are the characteristics of somebody that is a columnist because you have to be open to new things. You have to be curious. But for Carrie, I'm sorry, like all she was really interested in writing about was big, 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 big. Like it was always about big. I don't think she even had any very interesting encounter throughout the series that I would be like, okay, yeah. She was just always writing about relationships and their wars and their troubles and their issues. I'm like, girl, give it a rest. Honestly, for me, Charlotte and Samantha were like the ones I could see being like socks columnists. I'm going to say socks at this point. That's what I'm going to use, socks, because I think it kind of rhymes. So those were the people that I could see really being like socks columnists. Like they were curious, they were adventurous and everything. But Miranda and Carrie were very cookie cutter in that regard. So my number 2 point, I remember in an episode, right, like Samantha again was like she bumped into like two of her gay friends and they were like, oh, they would like to like try it out with someone that is straight, basically. And Samantha, she was having like thoughts about it, and she went to Carrie, the socks columnist, hoping the socks columnist to give an insight or like like just like yeah. But the socks columnist was just very myopic and was just very like like very cookie cutter about the whole thing. And I think that's when Samantha was like, like the new millennium is not going to be about whether you're gay or straight, it's going to be about sexual expression and all of that. But just Carrie's reaction during that episode was just like, no, 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 you can't do that, blah, 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 blah. I mean, if anything, I would expect that you being a socks columnist, like you would even like, I'm not saying encourage your friends to like do like awful things, but like just like, like be open to it, because to me, all of this could be like amazing content for your column. Like if I was in New York at that point in time, if I was living in the Sex and the City world, believe me, I think I would just be, I'll be sick of reading the column, because morning, day, night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's just going to be all about bake. I think I would have just been sick of it. Like, give us something, give us, like, let's read about this, like, your amazing, like, lives in that regard. But, like, Carrie. So anyway, yeah, that was just my second point. Even if Samantha did not end up going through with it because the men like they became iffy about it, but like just Carrie's reaction, initial reaction was just like girl, what, why are you even a stocks columnist? Like why? Kind of I know what makes you qualified like to be a columnist, because even in terms of your relationships, like there's nothing exciting there. Nothing. Okay, so point three. I think this happened in like season three, where I currently am in my rewatching. And Carrie is like dating this politician, and the politician has this kink. Like he likes golden showers. If you don't know what those are, then I don't have to explain it to you. But honestly, he likes golden showers, right? And that is a very niche kink, please. Like it's not everybody's cup of tea. But my issue with that was okay, when he and Carrie broke up, like she wrote about it, like kind of exposing him in quotes, because everybody knew that okay, even if he didn't mention his name, even if he didn't name drop, everybody knew you were dating a politician, and everybody knew that okay, it was this New York politician that you were dating. So what was the point of like kind of talking about, oh, he likes this? I mean, I couldn't just wrap my head around it. I mean, like, of all the things you could write about, of all the interesting experiences you could write about, is that something like, oh, you decide that, oh, you want to write about now, maybe because he broke it off with you because you wouldn't want to partake in that, which is fine. Or like to go to your column and like to write about it in a kind of way that was like exposing it, because I mean, 1 plus 2 equals 3. Like you were dating this politician, everybody knows this politician, and you're talking about a politician that has a certain kink. Excuse me, like everybody is going to know who exactly you are talking about. So to me, that's another example of her being an columnist, because I couldn't wrap my head around it. To me, it was just so much easier to just cut your losses and move on. He had a kink that I did not like, that I did not agree with. I did not want to partake in it. Okay, move on. Like he had already said, nobody knows about this kink, so like they need to write about it. I didn't understand. So point number four. If you guys remember this episode, Charlotte was dating a doctor, and they were doing the do at night, and I think he fell asleep, and Charlotte was devastated. I mean, it's actually quite devastating. So she was devastated, right? And she tried to find a solution. How can I fix this? This guy cannot be sleeping on me. So she finds a workshop for tantric sex. She finds a workshop for tantric sex, right? And through that workshop, she lets her friends know that okay, this is where we're going to on this day and so day. And Carrie, this columnist, could not take this seriously at all. She was just making comments, laughing about it. I mean, like out of everybody in the friend group, I would expect that you would take this the most seriously, and you would be like taking notes, like this is good content for you to write about on your column. Like I'm sure there are lots of people that would like to know about this concept and would like to like learn about it, or just to hear your thoughts about it. But you could not take it seriously for the life of you. You were laughing. Like Charlotte was really seriously taking notes. I think even Samantha was intrigued, but then Cookie Cutter, Miranda, and Carrie were just like making mockery of the whole thing, and I just found it very not cute. Like It's not cute. Like, girl, this is your job. Like, I feel like you can provide so much more content than I couldn't help but wonder. Blah 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 blah. Does big like me like give it a rest? I beg. Okay, so I think the last point I have, this is quite a short video, but I think I'm about to watch this episode, so I don't really remember the details, but I know that Carrie was seeing a guy at this point that was bisexual. She didn't know that at that point he was bisexual, but like she couldn't wrap her head around the fact that he is bisexual. I mean, like for anybody, I think it's pretty fine if they don't want to like date a person that is bisexual, but I don't know, maybe it's me that's saying this the wrong way, but I feel like once you are a socks columnist, like you should be pretty, I feel like it should be pretty open, it should be pretty curious, it should be pretty experimental, because at the end of the day everything is like tying back down to your job. So I would say like inquisitiveness, curiosity, being adventurous, like those are like the good characteristics of somebody that would be like a socks columnist and would like be writing about this as their livelihood. But then, if I remember the episode correctly, I think Carrie was just not into it at all. I remember faintly, if I'm wrong, please correct me. I mean, I faintly remember like I don't think she really wanted to understand it, or she really tried to understand it. I think she was just like, mm-mm. You know, Carrie was just a very cookie cutter girl, just a very normal girl, did things in that regard, like the traditional way, the normal way. If anything, I feel like Charlotte and Samantha were the real people that got down. If anything, I would say those two were the people that, if anything, like their characters on the show would have been much fitted for like socks columnist, but like for Carrie, you know, I really couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. Like her character and her characteristics, and through the instances in which she was shown something different from what the supposed norm is, and just the way she reacted to it was just not encouraging to me. So I really feel like she shouldn't have been a columnist in that regard. So anyway, that was the last point that I had. And because of that, we have come to the end of this video. Please, if you have any other like points of when Carrie was being an awful columnist in that regard, please let me know in the comments, because I love this topic so much. I am intrigued about it. I feel like I could go on and on and on and on talking about it. So if you have any other points that you notice that maybe I might have skipped. This video is very niche. If you don't watch Sex and the City, or if you're not like an avid watcher of it, and like you watch it, you watched it, you really love it, you love the characters, I don't think you'd really like gel with this video. But if you do, and you have like any ones that I missed, or you don't have any instances or any thoughts, please share. Like I really want to read and like hear all you guys thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you understood what I was talking about a little bit. And yeah, I'm going to love you and see you next time. Bye.